Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sudha Live. Here we are at the end of another week. I believe this is our ninth week. I'm Sudha Jamthe. I'm here to tell you about opportunities in AI, learning opportunities, conferences, jobs, and much more. And specifically this week, I'm going to tell you about our live lab and who got selected to participate in the live lab. So, here at Business School of AI, some of you might be joining me on YouTube. And this time, for the first time, I'm doing a live stream using LinkedIn Live. So some of you might be seeing this on LinkedIn Live. So welcome and let's get started. So the live lab job, the live lab project that we got started at Weekly Wednesday, which is our happy gathering of all my students, past and present, when they come together on Wednesday mornings. We usually have a speaker series, and we started out with something called a live lab. And we started a project called Labeling for Computer Vision. And as we are teaching AI, the AI building process, and what the different job roles are, what is your role involved? So we actually wanted to focus not just on the model building, but to understand the entire life cycle. So in a previous AI ethics course, we spoke about data bias in the data, and we spoke of data collection. So we decided to take a step further and said, okay, instead of just collection, let's talk about how the data is annotated and how does that tie to the business, that it has to be done right, or there could be biases, or we might not even arrive at an answer. So for example, at Weekly Wednesday, I started this project saying, hey, here I have my DoorDash delivery, and I'm here in US. DoorDash is our food delivery service. They pick up food from restaurants. And when they drop that at home, they take a picture of the bag and the front of the door as a proof that they delivered the food. And I have a collection of them from the last pandemic year when we were in quarantine. And so I said, can I take that images and do the annotation, labeling, so that I can teach my students to do computer vision? But the interesting thing is, I keep talking about how we should not be talking about AI as just a technology and as a tool. It's important to learn the foundation of it and learn the AI confusion matrix, whatever your job role is. But it is always important to start at a business problem. So in this case, if I just said, here are images and label them, and let's do object recognition to find out whether there's a bag or no bag, what happens is when the computer vision, say no code AI platform I use for computer vision, looks at it, it doesn't understand that I'm interested in a bag. I'm not interested in the bench next to the bag or the door where the bag is placed. And the bag might be a bag one day, it might be a pizza box another day. So there's a lot more attributes to the bag, or it could be multiple bags placed together. So last week at Weekly Wednesday, we had Somana from Playment, which is a startup which offers a platform for labeling images. And it also has a baked in model to do more advanced stuff, but they do basic labeling of all kinds. And so we invited them, show us a demo, and we decided to do this project using Playment. And I have no affiliation to any particular brand or company or any kind of entity, I should say, right? So but I get very excited about good tech that works. So if you have one, I would like to play with it and go teach it to my students if it will solve our problem. So we decided to try this on Playment. And if you're interested in the video recording of our Weekly Wednesday from Playment, go to our YouTube and it is right there. So each week we actually release one video from our Weekly Wednesday, and you can actually follow me there and you will get your recording straight away. Or if you're signed up to Weekly Wednesday on Business School of AI, so go to businessschoolofai.com and click on Weekly Wednesday. You can get this one. You can see a bunch of last archives. We don't keep archive for the whole year because we've been doing Weekly Wednesday for a couple years, so we have tons of content. But we try to organize and keep them for at least relevant topics as we are learning on a theme. And this July, we've been learning on learning pathways to AI. So a bunch of AI related sessions and speaker sessions and labs and webinars are all available under curriculum for you. So that's another option to go find the same recording. So once you get that, you get an idea of what I'm talking about as annotation of labels with a business lens. So once I took this image, I found out I wanted a basic question. I assumed when it's doing object recognition, I assumed a basic question that I would say, hey, as the dasher drop the bag or not? So what if I could look at an image and I could have some kind of AI automation tell me and send a notification and check whether the bag is there or has not been dropped yet. And it turns out that all the images that I had collected were when the dasher dropped a bag, which means they all had a bag. So when I tried to set it up as two classes in computer vision, I had lots of data with bags and I had zero data with no bags. You might say, hey, what's the big deal? Go to your front door or walk around your neighborhood and take pictures with no bags. That's not the point. The point is the model does not work because it is not feature rich and it's completely missing one class. So if this was a business problem in a industry setting, you're trying to find using computer vision to look for a specific defect. And David Kerrigan reminded me that Domino's Pizza uses that to look at pizza quality, whether it is consistently done across all their different locations. In fact, David Kerrigan is going to come to my new Stanford class. We just started this week. Our class is called Artificial Intelligence Bootcamp for Product and Business Managers at Stanford Continuing Studies. It runs on Mondays in the evenings. Sign up is closed, by the way, guys. But David is going to be my speaker, first speaker, going to talk about the depths of how AI is built, reality, and the whole product development process. And the key topic for this week is going to be AI product management. But David reminded us how Domino's Pizza uses computer vision. So in that case, if you're going to look for a defect, look at the pizza, look at all the different toppings, and if you were to actually tag it, how would you actually start your labeling and annotations? So that's the exercise we are going to go through, and we are doing this as a 4-week project. And weekly Wednesday is free. It's my happy gathering of all my students, new and old and future alums and future students. So I called for people who are interested in working with us online. We created an online community called Weekly Wed. That's what we call our Weekly Wednesdays. And these are the people who are going to be working with us. And our whole approach of how we do learning at Business School of AI is we try to get as hands-on. And in fact, this is not about model building. So you could come from any background. We don't do Python. We could no code. We do no code AI, but we go to a lot of depth of technology. So we connect the dots between high-level business considerations and depth of technology, but without any coding. So we have Emmanuel Bianchini, who's a business executive at the junction of data and business. He specializes in audio engineering and business data. Kari Stockinger, who's business development manager at Prospera Credit Union from Wisconsin. Kelsey Ontko, she's a platform architect in fintech from Wells Fargo, San Francisco. Yashashwini Vishwanath, she's her specialty is automating emerging technologies in Mindtree from India. And Suresh Kumar Gopati, who's a data scientist focused on machine learning from Ghaziabad. And we will be adding, welcome. We'll get started this week, and maybe we'll have an update to share at the next weekly Wednesday on this Wednesday, 9 o'clock Silicon Valley time, PT, and 18 hour in Europe and Nigeria, and 1 p.m. in Brazil. And of course, the recording will be back again in our YouTube where you are. This week, so that's the exciting project that is coming up, and we will be adding a computer vision. If you noticed, I said no code. Anybody, multidisciplinary teams are coming together to do this. So we will be adding a data scientist who is a computer vision data scientist who will be a mentor for the team. But this is going to be an exercise where they will get together, figure out the various business problems that they could potentially solve, identify different use cases, prioritize, pick one, arrive at a problem statement. That's going to be a fun exercise. That's the starting point of any kind of AI project. And then they look at the data, go through the labeling exercise. They will likely go back and figure out, okay, we don't have enough data, we need more data, we need a certain kind of data, do some feature engineering. So it's going to be that exercise, and they will arrive at this ready to do computer vision. That's my hope, and hopefully we'll do that with a no-code AI platform. And we want to do simple object recognition, but focused on solving a business problem. So that's what is coming up. And this week, I also did a session. I spoke at Professor Malka Halga Muge's AV class. She reminded me she's not a tenured professor. I shouldn't be calling her professor, but she's a university teacher, lecturer. And this is my first time at Melbourne, and I spoke about autonomous vehicles, AI in autonomous vehicles, and the timing was perfect because I ended up driving around with Susanna Raj, the AI ethicist, and we chased Neuro, a self-driving car, took some pictures that I shared on LinkedIn, and I found that our speaker from the past, from our weekly Wednesday, Kevin Schlosser, is now a product specialist at Ford. And Ford came up with this announcement that Ford, Argo AI, and Lyft are partnering together to bring robotaxis to Miami. And I'm very confident that now they've hired Kevin. They are going to get this done, and I'm going to fly out to Miami and go test out these robotaxis very soon. If you remember, Lyft had actually sold off their autonomous vehicle lab, the AV technology division, for $550 million to Toyota. And that means now Lyft is going to focus on ride sharing, which is their core business, and they've not given up on self-driving automation in their driving. It's just now they are not going to develop that in-house. They are going to partner with anybody who has the technology, and Ford and Argo AI came in, so they could partner with any kind of OEM, all kinds of AV tech companies. So that's a very interesting exercise. We do that at our AV class. So right now I'm not offering AV class, but I have a lot of interest from people related to that. I actually am working with Ananyasen on a journal paper related to the future of autonomous vehicles. What are the business drivers? What does the market trend look like? And my hypothesis that I'm validating with data in the journal. So I was actually asking, I was thinking of asking you, is this something that you would like to see? Is the AV topic evergreen? Is it picking up again? Is that something you'd like to see? I'm not going to offer a live class, but I have like a lot of autonomous vehicle masterclass that I did with David Kerrigan, autonomous vehicle business, like data, digital twin in the car. Those courses are available. The recording is available, 6 to 10 hours. Is on demand recording, so I can make that available for you. So ping me, give me feedback. If that's something that you'll find it useful, I can put it up for you. Okay. The next thing, the exciting thing, I promised that about new jobs. So one of the exercise I'm going through is, I said, I keep talking about my students, why not do a formal student showcase? And Richard Mayers, who's been working with us as a blogger at Business School of AI. He's also my student from the past, from the business of IoT, from Stanford Continuing Studies. And he's been helping me as the digital manager, digital marketer, doing blogs, emails, all the emails you get about the latest content and courses, all that comes from Richard. So Richard is now moving to a new exciting chapter with a new job. So I thought we should showcase our students, and I wanted to start with Richard. So as Richard goes off, wrapping up his work on writing, blogging, in fact, he was my editor on my AIX book too, but wrapping up his work at Business School of AI as he's moving on to his new exciting job with teaching, I wanted to congratulate and wish him well, and start a student showcase to showcase my students. So if you're one of my students watching, talk to me, email me, find me. I would like to know whether you would like to be showcased. I would like to know what you're working on. If you need help on anything that you're working, that I can be of help. I'll always be there. I'll always find time for my students. So you'll be hearing from us about the student showcase project coming up very soon. That's one. That also means I need to replace my digital marketing manager. So I have two jobs open, one unpaid jobs. These are not internships, these are real paid jobs at Business School of AI. One is a digital marketing manager focused on LinkedIn, YouTube. So you're watching me in one of these channels, you know how much content we have, and you're there, we want to talk to you. Or blogs and emails that we do, that kind of thing. We are not looking at all other social channels. We are focused more on business users like you, product managers and designers and everybody else. That's the portfolio we are thinking about. And we already have what we have as a process and what we work with, but we want you to come with your fresh energy and creativity. The other job is something new and super exciting, because as we are thinking about the live lab, I realized the big part of getting a live lab running is getting the data ready. I used to think it was about getting the right business problem. And then I realized we start with the business problem and it kind of changes around to something, as long as you have the right data and the business owner involved. So we did this project called Capstone AI Lab, end of last year, online. And we had two teams go build AI, again with no code AI, but end to end to solve real business problem with real business data. So as I'm getting ready for my fall set of courses, I have no courses that I'm offering you now. Just come to Weekly Wednesday for free. Join us, join our speaker sessions, join our webinars, live labs, anything. Be part of the journey. And in fall, mid-September, I would be offering a whole new set of courses at Business School of AI. So I'm putting that list and working with the instructors and prioritizing that. We don't do hundreds of courses. We do 3 to 5 courses, but we spend personal time. It's 6 weeks of live courses, and we find personal time to mentor our students. Our students are professional adults who connect the dots from their past experience, make career pivots, or go innovate in their business. So it's a big deal. So your success is our metric that you're working towards. So we'll have small classes of 20 people max, and we'll do maybe 5 classes max. But I want to do 2 live labs, one with computer vision and one with machine learning. So I need your feedback first on what kind of machine learning model should I build. Just tell me that. I'm actually going to find a business problem with real data. That is what we'll solve for. But I want to be prepared, whether it is some kind of specific algorithm, maybe it's a lookalike algorithm, maybe it's a propensity model, maybe it's a next best click. I've never done a next best click with real data for marketing. I would like to try that. So I would prepare for it and then go find a real business customer who potentially could benefit with this kind of algorithm, and then backtrack and then have that as a course. So that's how I operate. So, but tell me whether you're running into this kind of propensity model ask or lookalike ask, just so that I can ground my offering to that. So I would like that. So to get ready for this data, it's a huge job. So here is my offer. I want to hire an ethical CRM manager, which is taking all the data that I have, making sense of it, creating some automation to it, tied to my courses. But I'm calling it an ethical CRM manager, because this is not about, okay, we get the best conversion, let's go automate this and not worry about people or privacy. We're very big on following not just the rules and compliance, but doing the right ethical thing with our data, because many of them are my students and people who engage with me, trusting me. So 2 jobs. One is a digital marketer who's focused on LinkedIn, YouTube, email, and blogs. And the other is an ethical CRM manager who's going to sift through data, which is just customer data, but help us get ready for a live lab. So the data, what the CRM manager will do, that will drive courses, and it will drive the actual content data that will be training data for our next lab course that would come in September. So that's what it is. It's super exciting. So if you have some knowledge of AI, that will be helpful. Otherwise, I'll have to teach you that, as long as you're really super awesome as a CRM manager. So That's what I have for you today. Student showcase we are going to do. So if that's interesting, please join us. And with that, I'm going to wrap up because I promised that I'll try and keep this to 15 to 20 minutes. We are at 20 minutes. And I told you last week that you should follow Merv Hickok. She was one of the AI ethicists who was nominated along with me, and I felt it was such an honor to be nominated with Merv at the VentureBeat Women in AI on the Responsible AI track. So Merv had just shared this event that happened from Stanford, from Ruha Benjamin, about Tech and Racial Equality Conference, Anti-Racist Technologies for a Just Future. That's a fantastic one. So I will tag this when I share this on LinkedIn where you're watching. You can come back and watch. It's Ruha Benjamin. Follow her, and that's an interesting event that's coming up. And of course, we'll be back at Weekly Wednesday this coming week. So I hope I'll see some of you there. And follow us on YouTube if you just want to get the recording straight on YouTube or get our Weekly Wednesday recording. And see you online at Weekly Wednesday. Go to ai.com and just click on Weekly Wed, or come back here and we'll see you at our live stream here. And I want your feedback. This is our 9th week. I want your feedback on how do we take this forward. What should I be doing with this? Is this useful if I just give you opportunities that is coming up? Live. So give me feedback. What do you want to see in the sessions on Friday evenings? And right now, I'm just looking for amazing people, opportunities, jobs. And I have 2 jobs: the CRM, the ethical CRM manager, and the digital marketer. Ping me. I'll be officially posting a job at Business School of AI in the company site on LinkedIn. And I will see you at Weekly Wednesday. And stay safe. Have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next week. Thank you, everybody. Bye.